So I wanted to make a video about a video game that I played a lot when I was a kid, and when I started looking for history things and things to put into this video, I couldn't find anything about it, really, at all, hardly anything at all. It seems like this game was kind of lost and forgotten and was just kind of like a fill-in title that they didn't really expect to do anything, and honestly, it didn't do anything at all, really. But I loved this game when I was a kid, and I always thought it was a strange game. I didn't understand how to pronounce the name of the game. I was supposed to work on this video with a friend of mine who helped me put together the Polybius video. He did a really great job with the script on that. We both kind of like put our brains together and worked on the script, and it was really, really great. I thought I had a lot of fun with that video, and I wanted him to work on this one with me as well, but he died.
He's dead.
He is dead. No, that's not true. I can't find him, and it's been several days, and I wanted to get this video up, and this is what happens, Harry, when you leave me to my own devices and you don't end up helping me. So I hope you feel very, very happy with yourself right now, okay? Shame on you for leaving me alone in the dark without anybody to help make this video. It's okay, I've done plenty of videos on my own before, but I wanted a little extra Harry pizzazz on this. Yes, Harry pizzazz. His name's Harry. Anyway, let's set the tone of the video. The year is 1990. Nintendo is the leading company in household video game with their Nintendo Entertainment System and has been in North America at home since 1987. The gaming console has a very large variety of games to play by now. Big blockbuster hits like Super Mario Bros. 3 is flying off store shelves, as well as games like Star Tropics and Mega Man 3. The Super Nintendo was also released in 1990, along with Super Mario World, and is quickly making its place as the future of video games. With the rise of the new Super Nintendo and Super Mario World hitting the mainstream, there are a lot of games that were still coming out for the Nintendo, but were easily being overshadowed by these titles. That's unfortunate because one of those games that was a phenomenal game, a wonderful game, and a game that obviously all of you out there know because you're looking for a history of the game XEXYZ. That's right, XEXYZ. XEXYZ. You hear him say it there, right there on the commercial? The actual commercial that was released to promote this game? XEXYZ. One more time. XEXYZ. Because a lot of people like to pronounce it XEXYZ. XEXYZ. And it doesn't sound as good. It's not sexy, it's sexist. Look out. Now in North America, it got the absolute ridiculousness name known as XEXYZ, but in Japan, it was known as Kami no Angeishi Urashima Densetsu. And I'm pretty sure I might have butchered that just now, and I apologize. I'm not Japanese. If you're Japanese and you're offended, I'm sorry. That was not what I was trying to do. But I do not speak Japanese, and I can barely sound out the words. What's XEXYZ about? I mean, that was the big thing for me. I didn't understand what it was about, and it says in there in the game to actually like read the manual if you want to know the backstory, which was kind of a cop-out because it had an actually really neat kind of story that they just cut out for the North American version because North Americans don't really have the attention span to sit around and read like a 10-minute intro like this game had. So originally, there's an intro that plays out after starting the game. According to this story, it's a more futuristic version of a famous Japanese fairy tale called Urashima Taro, a story of a fisherman who is taken into an underwater world after saving a turtle. Save the turtles. Ew. The main character, Ken Urashima, a descendant of Urashima Taro, while on a beach, saves a turtle from a crab by firing a hand wave at it. Take that! The turtle thanks him and tells Urashima that their kingdom, the Dragon Kingdom, is being attacked by the Machine Beast Empire. Urashima then gets in some space armor and the turtle takes him to the kingdom and then the game begins. But in XEXYZ, this doesn't happen. So you're left like, what's going on? And you're just dropped right into the middle of the game and you're supposed to figure out bits and pieces of the story and put it all together for yourself while you talk to the locals and the fairies and these really hot girls in bathtubs. Love her. I want some of that in my life. Please. Can I have some of that too?
Excuse me? No.
So here's something else about this game. It's hard! Which is another reason why I think it was kind of left under the radar. Not only do you have to fight your way through all of these enemies, jumping around and flying around and shooting at you and dropping things on you and making your life extremely difficult, now you have to like also talk to people and figure out the story on your own. Now you can also read in the manual a bit about the story, but really there's not much left to go on. When I remember playing this and not really understanding exactly what I was doing, other than, hey, this is kind of fun and neat, and I really like the way this game looks. But other than that, I was kind of clueless as to what was going on. Except for whenever it showed those ladies in the bathtub. Yeah, that again. I knew exactly what was going on then, and I was kind of aroused, not gonna lie. You were too. Don't act like you weren't. You know you were. It's 2018, it's okay to be attracted to animation. As far as it goes in North America, the basic story of the game is this. It's the year 2777. In a post-apocalyptic future, due to nuclear wars and natural disasters, Earth's population has decreased dramatically and only 5 islands are left. The remaining 5 islands form the XEXYZ Kingdom. In XEXYZ, humans, spirits, fairies have lived peacefully for centuries under the reign of King Zhao Star. XEXYZ is attacked by an evil alien named Garuza who murders the king, builds mechanical castles on each island, and captures each of the island's queens. You take on the role of a soldier named Apollo. So in our version, it's Apollo, not Hiroshima or what in the fuck ever. Apollo can't take the devastation of his people anymore, and he decides to fight Garuza. And that is where our actual story begins in North America. The thing that made this game so much different than other platformers was the fact that not only was it a side-scrolling game where you were jumping around, killing enemies, and trying to save princesses. You also had a shooter-type side-scrolling adventure with this, where it was kind of like Gradius, or Gradius, however you want to pronounce that. I don't know how you want to pronounce that, but you know the kind of game where you fly around and you shoot things. And basically what you're doing is you're going from the last world to the boss of the level, and then back to another island in the next level. So you have a side-scrolling platform-type game, to a side-scrolling shooting-type game, back to a boss fight, which is side-scroller platform-type game, back to a side-scrolling shooting-type game, back to a boss fight, and then back to a side-scrolling platformer game. All of this on just going from one level to the next level. That is extremely insane and extremely difficult, and oh man, many time where I was playing this game and I threw the controller at the TV because god damn it, it was extremely difficult to get through, and I've read a lot of people saying this game is way too hard. But persevere, and it becomes known as one of the best underrated games that ever came out for the Nintendo. And I was really surprised that there wasn't a whole lot on the internet about this game. The only thing else that I can really tell you about the game is the different endings that there were for the Japanese version compared to what there was for the North American version. In the Japanese version, when you finally defeat the game, you are given a box, and then you are given 3 options. If you open it, Ken ends up on the beach from the intro and meets a girl who looks very similar to the main princess of the game, but isn't her. The two then marry and live happily ever after. If you leave it, Ken/Apollo ends up in front of the princess, who then they both marry, and then Apollo becomes the king, which is a wonderful, bubblegum, happy, everything is glorious kind of ending, typical to the games of 1990. If you throw it, then you end up on the beach alone, and then you are turned into a plankton as some sort of divine punishment for not being grateful for getting the gift. What a joke. Although you are really cute. Look at you. Look at how cute you are. So cute. Overall, after searching for absolutely everything I could, I searched for interviews from people who created the game. I searched for the people who created the game. I searched for all kinds. I looked high and low for anything that I could find on this game, and there's just absolutely hardly anything at all. But the stuff that I did find that I found was interesting, I did share with you today. Such as the whole story, the whole Japanese story. I thought that was really super cool. And I kind of wish that we would have gotten that on our version of it, because I would have paid attention to that. I would have read it. I would have liked that. I would have liked to know what was going on. I really enjoy games like that have kind of like this nice, cool backstory. Obviously, I guess it didn't really matter in the long run because I do remember the game. I loved the game and I wanted to play it again. And I'd also like to see a remake done of this game. I like the idea so much that I've actually considered like learning how to make games to be the guy who makes the XEXYZ remake, but I don't know anything about it. If you know anything about it and you want to do that with me, hey, let me know, because I would love to try. I'm sure we can figure something out somehow, and don't just take my idea and run with it, you son of a bitch. That was my idea. I thought of it first. You bring it back. It's mine. Thank you so much for watching the video today. If you enjoyed the video, let me know by leaving me a thumbs up. Go ahead and hit subscribe too, because it is a great button to push. And when you push subscribe, you can also push the little bell icon next to it, and then you'll know whenever I put out a video again. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter under the handle Drum Blanket. Thank you again so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you in the next video. So I wanted to make a video about a game that doesn't really have a whole lot of popularity behind it, and it was a game that I played when I was a kid, and I absolutely love this game. Hi, welcome to High Energy Drum Blanket. That's right, High Energy Drum Blanket, High Energy. The gaming console has a very large variety of games to play by now, and big blockbuster hits such as The gaming console has a very large variety of games to play by now. Big blockbuster, but the gaming console has very large breasts. Wow. So a lot of things. So because of the release of the Super Nintendo and games like Super Mario Bros. 3, the likelihood. So because of the release of Super Mario.